It's a really cool action game that focuses mainly around fighting. There's different elements to it, and it has a pretty cool story from what I can tell thus far. Hello everyone, DarkShichi here, and welcome to my shenanigans. I am a part of the BGG, and I'm here to talk to you about Sifu. So getting into it, you start out with a little bit of the story, you get to take in the environment, and get a feel for the mood of the game. Once you progress through it, there are some questions that crop up as you're fighting the bad guys. So first thing I noticed when starting out with this game is the environment. It was pretty darn cool. It was raining, but there wasn't an overwhelming sense of sound impeding my enjoyment of what I was seeing. So you first go in and we have to knock down the door, and teaches you how to do a heavy attack. And then our first opponent, you learn to deflect, you learn light attacks, you learn how to parry, and you learn how to do a finisher.
What's going on?
Then stepping into the room, we have these multiple people that we need to defeat. And so it's time to use what we have learned. So whop, 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 and destroy. It's pretty fun because it teaches you how to not only fight one opponent, but how to deal with multiple opponents from the get-go. And I really like that they provide the tutorial of what each attack does on the right side of the screen. That helped me a lot because at some points I might have forgotten my buttons. Once again, we get to take in the wonderful and beautiful environment that this game has. It's really cool, and I love that the sound of the rain is not overwhelming at all. And then we have to jump over. Time to vault and climb, teaching you how to use your Q. And then we meet some of the first characters. I don't know who this guy is, but he has a really cool outfit, and he's smoking a cigarette. From the first moment, we can see that we're probably a leader of some kind, which calls into question, who are we defending? Who are these people that we are attacking? And since we don't have that much information at the beginning, it's just time to go forward and fight. I took my time in exploring the surrounding as much as I could, just for the fact that I wanted to see if there were any secrets to be found. Okay, up the stairs, and big important looking door. Gotta take in the scenery a little bit. Alright, back to important door. We go through, and here we are on an upper level. Once again, taking in that beautiful scenery, the wonderful environment. Gotta love it. And bonus, if you have IQ or Corsair, you can, in fact, have your keyboard and your mouse, the lighting on those, be affected by what you do in the game. It's pretty cool. So we have to beat up some more bad guys, learn to do some more finishers. You can even pick up items to use on your enemies. I've been trying to get better at throwing things. I have not had much luck, but we're going to go in, we're going to beat these guys. Sorry to break up your mahjong game, but I am here. I don't know what to do, but hey. The fighting feels really good when you are fighting other people, and I think it has a very nice flow to it, especially since you do have to fight big groups of people or just like smaller groups of people. So it was important to me that the fighting felt smooth and that it didn't feel like I was lost in the action. I don't know who this guy is. He doesn't really talk much, but, you know, hopefully he'll tell us where we need to go, and he does. All right, awesome. So through this next door, let's see what we find. We come upon an old man fighting some other people in this dojo. I don't know who the guy is, but considering this whole game is called Sifu, that's probably our Sifu. It's at this point where it's called into question, are we the bad guy? Is he the bad guy? Who's the bad guys here? Going into this, I just thought like, oh wow, cool, I'm fighting these bad guys, I'm doing my thing, and then you realize, huh, we're the guys in black. Wait, am I the bad guy? Oh no!
Now you know too much.
I like that the flow of going from the fighting to the story elements is really smooth. I like their transitions. I love the artwork, and the dialogue has not left me feeling underwhelmed. It seems to deliver what it's meant to convey very well. So now we have to fight Sifu. Let's see how this goes. Some punches, some jabs. I would consider this maybe our first boss fight. Once your bar at the bottom fills up a little bit, you can do a special attack and choose which portion of the enemy's body you want to attack. I find that pretty cool, so definitely take the time to check out the blue bar in the bottom that you can activate with your F, as it'll give you a special ability to fight your opponent.
When I look into your eyes,
Alright, phase 2, where we're fighting Sifu. Didn't mean to make that rhyme, but hey, it works out very well. Some jabs, some more punches, hopefully not getting taken out by Sifu. I don't exactly know if at this point in the game you can quote-unquote die, but it felt pretty serious that you not get taken out by the Sifu. So this particular fight has two phases where you have the fight on the inside and then you get to fight out all cool in the rain. After that, you take down Sifu and you roll right into more story. It's at this point I came to the realization that it's me. I'm the bad guy. I'm starting out this game playing as the bad guy. Whew, that was a realization, but I guess the black robes should have given it away.
show yourself.
I love that you can choose between being a boy or a girl. I, of course, chose to be a girl, because for me, I want to be a badass crime-fighting chick. And I feel like these guys are up to a bunch of crime. So it's at this point, after getting slashed by the weirdo, is where we call into question, are we alive? Are we dead? What happened? Was it all a dream? And I think that element of blurring what is real and what is not real is really cool setup for the rest of the story. The big reveal that Sifu is our father. Now that's something. Now, the way that this game rolls from giving us story elements to going into the tutorial is really cool. I really like the way that they did this because it felt very seamless, and I really appreciate having a tutorial, especially since I'm not that good at fighters myself personally, but I do feel like this game will make me better at fighters. So during the tutorial, I find it really cool that they also give a little bit of credits to the teams and members that worked on this game, so I find that pretty cool. The seamless transition from story elements into the tutorial back to story elements I think is really cool as well, just for the fact that it all feels cohesive and smooth. There are some moves in this game that I personally had some trouble mastering, and I still don't feel like I mastered them, but I can do them, even though I do not use them for quite a bit of the game, but that's another story for another day. So here we are back at present day, and I think this room that we end up in is super cool and it has a lot of information if you know where to look. There's different environmental things that look really nice, like when you look out the window, or coming over to the skill tree. I really enjoyed the fact that our skill tree was actually a tree. I don't know why, but that just tickled my fancy. So the skill tree to me is really dope, really cool. I like it. So our first mission is to get into the warehouse and find what we know as the botanist. So as you go through the game, you're going to notice that you have a multiplier. So you build up multiplier by finishing off your enemies, but as well, your enemies can hit you for pretty significant damage and knock that multiplier way off. So try not to get hit while hitting. So I was pretty thorough in trying to go around and explore different areas and seeing if there were any secrets to find out. It kind of helped that there are little white dots to kind of mark things that you can interact with. Some of them you can't use, but at least you can interact with, and there's a good marker for that. From there, it's more fighting, more bad guys, going through the level, trying not to die. There's going to be some times where you get to pick up pipes, brooms, and sticks to beat your enemies. You find out more story elements, like the fact that there is a drug den, but my favorite part of this particular section is the corridor scene. Now, quite a few people might be familiar with this corridor scene because it was super popular. If you get the reference, then you know. So this one was a little bit harder for me to do this time around, just for the fact that the flow of it, I guess I was a little bit off and I wasn't on my A game, but I still feel like it flowed very well, and I love being able to pick up the enemy's items and using them against them. It's just some kind of satisfaction about picking up their pipe and hitting them in the face with it. Another cool thing to note is as you use items, for example, the pipe, the more you use it, the more it starts to degrade and finally break apart. The same can be said for the pipes and the brooms that you can pick up throughout the level. So once you get through your corridor fight, you make your way through the building once more, you do some twists, some turns, fight some more people, all to get to your objective. Throughout the level, you will have an opportunity to look at these green dragons, and you can choose what to spend your currency on. I find that really cool, being able to upgrade and update your abilities throughout the level. So one thing cool about this game is the death counter. Each death, you get 1 to your counter. Afterwards, your counter is added to your age, so you'll age up upon each death. I found that element pretty cool, and I'm really interested in seeing what else they do with it. I died quite a few times throughout this gameplay, but I was really glad that I didn't die too much. So I got a taste of what it would be like to fail, but it does not dissuade me from continuing the game. And finally, we get to the boss fight. So I did die a few times during this boss fight, but it wasn't too much. I felt like it definitely had a curve of, oh, I'm fighting a much better fighter than me, so I have to play this smart. This particular character I felt did really good at kicking my butt, but in the end, I definitely took him down, and that felt really good. All in all, this game is very satisfying when it comes to the fighting. I'm really enjoying the story elements that are cropping up, and I love that I get to do it as a badass woman kicking butt. Thank you for joining me today. My name is DarkShichi, a member of BGG, and remember, you're too pretty to go to jail, so think about your actions before they become consequences. I love this game, and I hope you do too. Peace out, everyone.